You really won't want to miss this. Louisa takes her boss to see some spicy leg dances, and it's totally free. Louisa is as energetic as a detective as she rushes to the library to find out all about the needs of people with disabilities. She doesn't just want the boss to say, well, dying without regrets. Louisa has her own plan. Her mom gave her a thumbs up when seeing her hospital list, hoping she'd create a life strategy soon. Will's dad had other ideas, insisting his son be himself and feel human. The boss stepped out and slipped like on a banana peel. Louisa and the caregiver pushed, but alas, the boss looked displeased. Louisa boldly called for help, shouting, "A disabled person needs help." Soon, they pushed the boss out like refugees, giving him the unwanted special treatment. He certainly wanted to go home, but as the saying goes, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So the boss joined Louisa at the racetrack. Louisa's confidence was off the charts as she put all her money on a horse called Mr. Handsome, while the boss was thinking, that horse. Tilt or no, girl? The race started. Horses bolted like on energy drinks except Mr. Handsome, who strolled. Lunchtime came, and they headed to the restaurant. Surprise! The restaurant was members only. Louisa begged to enter, but the server snubbed them, suggesting food trucks instead. Louisa wanted to rush to the ticket office for a membership card, but the caregiver advised her to forget it. Thus, Louisa embarrassed the boss greatly, making him lose face. Determined not to let it slide, Louis ended up roasting the poor overworked server, leaving the boss in the most awkward situation ever. For Louisa, it was no big deal. At home, she handed the boss Mozart concert tickets. She invited him to join her, saying, "If you're willing to give me a shot, let's go together and see if that suit of yours still fits." The boss hadn't worn a suit in ages, while Louisa's red dress was a total showstopper. The boss, however, asked her to take off her scarf for a better look, and the moment she did, the boss' smile reached the sky. At the concert hall, Will found his neck uncomfortable. He still had the shirt tag on. Just like that, Louisa solved his issue in the simplest way possible, and the boss looked undeniably pleased. Turns out Louisa had never heard such fancy music before. She was deeply moved as Will kept glancing at Louisa. At that moment, she regained her femininity. The concert ended. Home, the boss, still in the car, asked Louisa about the music. She said it felt like sand in her eyes, which the boss understood. In that moment, their hearts intertwined. Normally, a man would kiss the girl beside him, but sadly, Will couldn't. Still, he wanted to linger in the car a little longer. Then Louisa invited the boss to her birthday party. She mentioned her boyfriend, and parents wanted to meet him, and surprisingly, the boss agreed even though he could have bailed. On her birthday, Louisa's dad wanted to shake hands, but the boss couldn't even budge. To ease the awkwardness, Will quipped, "Why don't you just do a dependency substitute instead?" That little joke brought them closer together. At dinner, Will's layoff linked to Louisa's dad, shocking him. Awkwardness returned until Louisa's boyfriend arrived from afar. Seeing his girlfriend feed the boss, he was furious and jealous. Everyone showered Louisa with gifts. The boyfriend's gift should have been special, but it had his name. Louisa then pulled out the boss' elegantly wrapped gift, outshining her boyfriend's. Inside was her dreamed bumblebee leggings. Louisa's eyebrows curved into crescents from laughing. The boyfriend's jealousy boiled over, and after the birthday party, Will saw Louisa in her boyfriend's embrace and started feeling mischievous. To others, it was just a joke, but her boyfriend felt foolish. Planning their next trip, Louisa had Will reveal an ex-wedding invite, suggesting a special place. Will said, "Here at this castle, I kissed my ex for the first time." Louisa sighed, "The views are picturesque, the most beautiful I've seen." But Will countered, "That's because you haven't seen the outside world. Paris is the real treasure." In outdoor cafes, sipping rich coffee with warm peanuts plus cream and strawberry jam specialties. "So let's go. Roam Europe streets. Simon, Clark, you wouldn't understand. I want the Parisian life. Those gorgeous French girls will throw me dreamy looks. I remember every feeling. I want memories to turn into scenic travels. Not just avoiding skulls, but Paris lacks suitable charging slots for her wheelchair." Louisa felt complex after hearing this. Will's feelings echoed hers. Able-bodied, she still struggled to make ends meet. Then was said she had to visit one place. Louis asked where. The Alaska wedding. Really? Back home, Louisa got good news. Due to Will's planning, her dad became the castle's logistics head. Louisa didn't want to spoil the mood. Later, Louisa secretly called Will, saying she had just returned from the castle. Her dad became the supervisor. She found it odd. Will replied, "That means you can watch your dad daily, so he doesn't worry about else." On this day, Will, who didn't usually host guests, received a suited man. He mysteriously told Louisa to wait outside, making her fear the worst. Louisa searched the guest's name online. Wengel. He was a pro-benefit consultant. She tipped off Will's mom. They thought the gradually brightening Will had moved on, but little did they know he was still dwelling on assisted euthanasia. At his ex-wedding, Will's heart broke again. Without paralysis, had been marrying on that stage. But reality knows no what-ifs. Watching his former love marry another, during a meal, an experienced lady joined him to chat. She said the groom seemed flashy but unreliable, while unremarkable Will was worth a lifetime, just as Louisa felt. Buzzed, she sat in Will's lap to liven things up. Will led her to the dance floor, urging her closer. Will joked, "If I weren't paralyzed, you wouldn't have your chest pressed this close." Louisa shot back, "If you weren't paralyzed, yeah, I'd be surrounded by tall beauties, and I'd totally be invisible." Will once teased Louisa that she'd be in a wheelchair someday, but he never thought it would come true. How romantic. They drove to the hotel, having a night to remember, but Will's health was a whole different issue. He ended up back in the hospital with pneumonia again. Louisa tried to crack a joke to cheer him up, but Will didn't even have the strength to smile.